Okay, good morning everyone. It's Charlie here. About 5:20 a.m. in Sydney. Apologies, we had a bit of a late start this morning. My family hasn't been well, so I've had to look after them a little bit this morning before getting started here. So yeah, we're here for the Man vs Machine 3 match. I'll be taking on Stockfish. This is a little bit different to the Stockfish available on Lichess. So this is now the third match. The first match I played was against AI level 8 on Lichess. I was informed that this is only 0.8 seconds per move that the machine is using. So with the second match, I've taken on Vin. He's using a locally operated version of Stockfish. He's also been using the Lichess Opening Explorer. And basically, the main difference is a dedicated processor and resources to calculate for the machine, as well as more time allowed to search to greater depth. So first match I won 8-2 against the Lichess version, and second match I lost 6-0. So I promised I'd be back for a rematch. So this is the next rematch. I'm just going to sort out my description at the bottom here. Just give me a moment. Okay, so we're making one more change just to balance things. We're going to look to play through a number of set openings. So that means, as white, I'll play, say, the moves e4. We'll get to a position e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, and then we'll also have a number of other positions. So I'll just show them up on the screen. Get started. So we'll see how we go for time. I've also got to get to work today, but we've got these 5 openings. So I'll play this as white, position 1, and then Stockfish will play it as white, and then we'll go through position 2. So we're starting from a balanced opening. Now it's only the first, 2.5 or 3 moves, so it's just to get us into the same positions. So yeah, let's get started. Hope you enjoy this. And once again, apologies for the delay. So, alright, I'm going to say good luck to Vin and Stockfish. Let's go. So I'm going to follow e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, and we'll let the play begin. Okay, while we wait for this to move, got a few comments. Jeroen Vandenberg. Sorry, Jeroen, I'm going to butcher your name every time. That's how I'm going to say it. He says notification squad. I think he's just letting me know I'm late. Lonatan or Ionatan says congrats on 666 subscribers. Tony H says good luck. And yeah, Jeroen also says interesting idea with the openings. He thinks they could be a bit deeper. I think it's fine. Allowing it to go just after the first couple of moves. In fact, to be honest, Vin was only using the first couple of moves last time as well, so this is not tremendously different. Knight c3 or d3, I mean, the move order is not a huge difference. There's just a bit more of an option with knight g5. So already, I mean, this is good because I'll probably be playing bishop c5 as black, so it creates a bit of variation in the games. Okay, bishop e7 played. So yeah, a question got asked of me yesterday. Are you approaching series any different? Have you studied? Have you practiced? Um, to be honest, I can't actually practice against this specific engine setting because this is a delayed um, or rather a version of Stockfish that's using more time. Whereas before I've been able to play, at the point 0.8 seconds that lead chess offers. So here I'm just looking forward ahead a little. I want to proceed. It's all pretty standard stuff here. I don't want to get too bogged down in the opening. Okay, castle. So yeah, I mean, if you're black here, normally you're satisfied enough. It's just a little bit different having the bishop on e7 instead of c5, but it avoids some of the complications that can often be quite sharp. Alright, I shouldn't be taking up this much time in the opening, but yeah, we'll go for h3. I'm just gonna play sensibly, avoid this bishop coming in here. Now the move I'd expect of a human player is something like knight a5. Yeah, here we go. So this has been played. I'm going to play bishop b3 just to preserve the defense on e4 with this pawn being here. And something like bishop at h5 is natural here now to create some pressure. This also gives white file, so bishop e3 is a natural development point. So put some pressure here. Mike Tonfi says, sorry, I missed who Vinvin is. Is he the developer? And he's just playing Stockfish's moves. No, I understand he's one of the testers of the program. Yes, he's just going to be operating the Stockfish moves for today. The bishop at d7, this is interesting. So this is all to double up some pressure on h3. And I think that's a good way for black to start making some moves. But here I'm tempted to even play king h2 just to cover it. I don't really want to cover it with knight at g5 because h6. So I'm just looking at here, king h2, takes, takes. I got two bishops for a pawn, he's going to check here, and we start moving back a bit. I'm going to ask the machine the question. So we'll see if it decides to sack on h3. Wow, we've got 33 viewers watching already. I've actually been, I've got to say, I've been surprised with the interest in this man versus machine match. I did not expect it to draw in such a crowd. Personally, I find the matches versus humans often more interesting because the humans adapt to play. But there's been some clear interest in this. So there's been a two-piece sacrifice on h3. I'm expecting pawn at g4. Yep. Now I don't want to go king g2 because then after capture of the knight, I can't recapture with the queen. I could capture with the king, but I think d5 is going to open things up at some stage. So I would like to have the queen on f3 to prevent more pieces coming out. So I'm looking at king h2, takes, pawn at g4, queen g3 perhaps. And then yeah, black will be looking to make some trades, something like d5. I'm gonna play king h2. And the way I'm looking at this is after the captures here, black will be down one piece for a pawn with some initiative with just two pieces. Now instinctively I don't feel that this is enough for black, but Stockfish has proved me wrong before, so I'm keen on seeing how it continues from here. So knight at d4, looking to pressure here. Um, um, so here I'm deciding if, I think we're starting to get to some critical moves where I need to decide if I'm going to allow something like knight c2. Or if I should cover with queen d1. So here's my two candidate moves at the moment. Queen d1 and queen g2. The trouble with queen d1 is I think it's falling too far behind on attack potential, and I think something like d5 with the potential to undermine this knight defending the e2 square, probably too much. I'm going to make a non-calculated positional assessment to play queen g2 here. My idea is to hit with pawn at h6. If he moves off to c2, pawn at h6, knight at f5 kind of ideas, generate some attack of my own. I think the queen is also a valuable defender next to the king. Okay. Do some work even, he says. I like it because of the longer time controls. You get to explain your ideas a lot more than in one or 3 minute games. Okay, so this is now interesting. The computer's decided to take here, but I feel like white should have some compensation. So let's be direct, or hit g7 straight away. Could be a move like pawn at g4 perhaps. G6, so just sidesteps. So pawn at g4 is coming. I'm thinking if I should actually preserve the rook here. Bishop at g7 and attack here isn't as fast. There's an interesting way of thinking here where I feel like the computer's going to see greater depth on tactics. So it's nearly a little bit like my only real chance of winning is by playing instinctively and playing moves that are simply not going to be considered by the engine. Knight d4 played. I could play bishop at d1 just to some safety. I can play bishop at g7, but it's not actually that fruitful at this stage. I'm more concerned about the pawns that could be dropped here. So black has 2 pawns for a piece. We've both got some weakness near the king. I assess this as a balanced position. So this is interesting. I find I'm also playing the game quite differently on rather than playing a move like bishop at g7 rashly on considering things through. Okay, pawn at c2, that wasn't unexpected. I'm just going to shuffle the bishop to e2. My idea here is that any piece I could bring over to the king side is going to be helpful. So rather than play bishop f3 where I'm going to get this queen just recaptured and ready to get hit again, I'm coming here. So he's now picking off pawns. Okay, so the safety is good. I think bishop at g7 is called for now. So I'm now going to start mounting pressure with these sorts of ideas. f6 is a key target square. That's a bit loose though. I've just dropped the rook on c1. I've missed this tactic, bishop f4. That's going to be costly. I should have seen that. Would have been better playing something like bishop g5 perhaps. So a bit disappointed there. I've missed an easy tactic. Yeah, that's going to change the flow of the game. So let's not get too bogged down by that. Perhaps king g1 first is suitable. I don't really want to take this. I'm going to lose too much on the back rank. Just assessing the value of the knight in hand. I don't like it. I'm going to back off. But yeah, not happy with missing this. Should have played bishop g5 instead. Having said that, I mean bishop g5's not all fantastic either. There's some tricks coming on c1. So objectively, it's not entirely a game changer. I think it's sensible now for black to just continue on the light squares here. Oh wow, he's being very aggressive, just straight up. I think there's some nice tricks where if bishop at g4, queen e3, bishop at f4, and there'll be a knight in hand at the end of this, and knight at h3 or knight at e2. So yeah, I'm happy with how I've played the game just up until bishop at g7. Not used my time effectively. This is now heading downhill pretty quickly. So the unfortunate thing for me, well, I'm seeing if rook a7 is actually dangerous. Because bishop at f4, oh no, he's not going for bishop at f4. Well, I'm going to take this. If bishop at f4, there may have been some kind of rook a7 trick, which was getting in here. I've chosen not to go for a7. The trouble is if after bishop e2, if I play rook a7 takes, then knight at f3 check and rook at h2 will be too hard to stop. But look, just trying to hang in there at the moment. Queen e3 or queen c2, knight g4 is coming in. Possibly some mating attack on the back. I can't play queen e3 because of knight g4. What if I take here, knight g4, kind of run up? I think that's too dangerous after bishop h4. He takes queen g5, f3, bishop g4, king e3, knight g2 mate. That's no good. So I'm going to defend g4, but look here, it's tough. Bishop at h5 is now in play. Vin's telling me Stockfish saw bishop g5 as the best alternative. That was earlier. So look, I'm going to have to take this guy. This is all very difficult after capture, pawn at e2. So disappointed because I was happy with my position for bishop at g7. That's just a straight up human error. Just as I was saying that I probably shouldn't calculate too much, I made a mistake that was tactical. So Vin's claiming the engine seeing mate in 7. I believe that. After pawn at e2, the threats with knight g4 are too strong. The way I'm going to assess this is I'm not close enough to grabbing a rook to put on h8. If I take this, black gets safe. So I'm happy to throw in the towel here. I was happy with the opening play, but that's just human blunder there. That's just a machine being more consistent than a human. Okay, losing another one. That's alright. I still feel, strategically, maybe there's a way forward with this. I still feel I need to adapt to a new level of the machine. So I was explaining in some other streams that weren't the Stockfish videos that yeah, I mean over the last 10 years there's always been some new development on the engines. I'm going to go with bishop c5 here. There's been some new development, and it's not uncommon that a new engine will come along and absolutely just destroy me. And each time that's happened, I've had to adapt, or I shouldn't just say myself, but a number of our strong Crazy House players have adapted and kind of worked out, a better way of playing Crazy House that gets on top of the engines again. So I feel it's just another fight in that longer term battle. Um, so I find it amusing when people say, "Oh no, Crazy House has fallen to the engines," and it's been this way for a long time. So yeah, I'm still going to come back. I mean, it's just that there haven't been many games that have been shown between humans and engines in the last 10 years. I mean, I think Atrophy's done a lot of matches with a number of different Crazy House engines, which you've probably seen him demolish. Stockfish is a big step up from the others, I'll say that. Okay, so we've reached the standard e4, e5 position that we see a lot. Do some work, Ivan. He says, "Have you got your mango juice?" And Mike Martonvi says, "You need your daughter on your lap again." So I've got a few followers that are familiar with things that happen during my stream. Having said that, I haven't got sugar in, so I'm going to take this juice. I'll come right back with some mango juice. Just give me a short moment. Okay, so whether you believe in superstition or in just sugar going to the brain, I've got some mango juice here. It's helped deliver me some first place finishes in some recent events. It was the chess.com event, and more recently the yearly Crazy House Arena on Lichess. Been stating that the engines improved 850 ELO in 3 months. Yeah, I don't know how they derived the ratings. I assume they've taken some ratings from some chess servers and then played some engines against each other, and then they work out which engines seem to do better. I assume that's how they're trying to work out rating improvement. Um, okay, so I'd normally play bishop g4 here, but I'm trying something a little bit different. Just going for a more passive or, in a sense, less tactical line. Now, h6 here serves the purpose of knocking that bishop off this diagonal, so I can get a knight onto f4. Okay, bishop at d2. So here I've got to assess if anything can happen on d5. Now I don't like it if I just allow him to capture these knights, because at the end of all that there'll be knight at h5 and I'll just be dropping a pawn on f4. So I've got to be a little bit dynamic here. Knight d5 takes bishop e2, takes queen, takes the knight, takes back, knight at f6, takes. I was checking a few tactics with knight d5, but I'll probably end up being behind. I think if I allow that, he just plays knight f6, takes, and queen in hand. That's too much. Okay, I'm going to make a decision to sack. Okay. Pawn at g4 is a logical continuation. Pawn at g5 just seems to... Is there anything tricky with pawn at g5? Takes, takes, takes here. Capture, knight f4. So I'm thinking pawn at g5 or pawn at g4, one of these two moves. So pawn at g4, what if he just plays something like knight g1 or knight e1, then this is under attack. I'm going to play pawn at g4. I just feel like pawn at g5 is just giving the pawn back. I'm now just going to put another piece on f3. Maybe he can take this and play queen g4. Okay, someone's requested that I need to put human hope back into the title. Alright, I've kind of done that now. Let's get some more mango juice in. Okay, king h1. So, Engine's decided that defense is the best way forward here. So, is something on with knight d5 or not? So what I want to do is get, another diagonal piece here, but I need to do it in a way that I don't lose this pawn too quickly either. Alright, we'll go forward the sensible way. Play c6. Basically, I'm looking to push this bishop back somewhere. Okay, and yeah, I'm not keen on trading this knight for it. Playing well. G5 a bit too far-fetched? That's the next question. Stockfish evaluation plus 13. Yeah, I've seen prior engines have all sorts of evaluations. I mean, I think to some extent that should be believed, but in the past some engines have quoted very high evaluation scores, and after not long they're losing. So, I take this should mean something, but shouldn't mean the world either. Bit of a distraction. Okay, this looks rather crazy, but I'm going to try to be resourceful. I've got this thing planned with bishop at f3 after takes bishop at f3. I think the trouble for me is after rook g1, I have to start really committing with something like knight e4, takes, pawn to g2, takes. I don't really think I've got enough attack. So this kind of attempt might be a bit more of a instinctive play developed to bluff human opponents more so than beat a computer opponent. That's what I'm feeling. Joke Czek says, can we assume instant moves by Vin mean Jan found the engine's top move? Ah, I don't know. I think we should just imagine the opponent is another human opponent and just enjoy it for Crazy House. That's it. Okay, I'm just having a look at some comments. M. Michael, he says Skynet rises. Okay, that's a good move. That just hits G4. That's pretty sensible. Okay, can I do anything with that? I'll play king up to H7. So that pawn on G4 is actually a critical pawn. Yes, so Vin's confirming in the channel that if Stockfish is playing a move instantly, it's probably meaning that I've played the best move that it was considering. So I think now I'm in some considerable trouble here. I've lost my key attacker. So yeah, the computer's been accurate with King H1. That's been good enough to hold me out. Yeah, I'm not coming in fast enough here. Knight at f6 is going to hit. So I'm already feeling like this is much better for white. So yeah, I'm not going to drag this out. I'm going to resign this one as well. Nicely played. So let me just double check the next set of moves. It's going to be e4, e5, knight c3, knight c6, knight f3, knight f6. And then we'll start play again. So that could be quite similar when I'm playing black. Oh, I've got the move order wrong, but doesn't really matter. Knight c3 and knight f6, and then start play. Something interesting as well. I found when the engines have come back. I mean, establishing that first win is very important because there's a psychological battle as well here where you know while the computer seems unbeatable, it can potentially make you doubt your moves, and you need to stop that from creeping in. But if you can establish just one win against the engine, then you kind of go, okay, hang on, there's something we can do here. All right, bishop b7 played. I'm going to play d4. I was expecting it to go bishop c5, but it's taken bishop b7 as the route of choice. Matt was asking how Vinvin operates the engine. I believe he's just got it locally running on his machine, and he inputs moves that come from me, and he puts back to Lichess what Stockfish tells him. Bob Johnson says, it seems like your king safety has always been broken down. I believe in the last series the g3h3 bishop g2 structure did well. Yes, potentially. I mean, no, you can't be too afraid of things either. So I was fine with first game here where my king was out on h3. I mean, my evaluation is that the piece sack is probably in white's favour, not in black's favour. I just wasn't able to prove it, and I made some tactical errors. But okay, I'm concerned about time here as well. It's already 6:05 a.m. I only got through a couple games, so I'd like to get through a few more games before I head to work. So I might try to step it up a bit quicker as well. Mark Cervera says, hopefully you can't code mango juice into stockfish. Oh, this mango juice has created a bit of a theme. Vishal Balyan, he says, let's put the bishop on b3. Jonley, have you tried playing the stockfish in Lichess with time controls at 3+0? I think in the first series I was playing something like 5+3. But the trouble was that the engine wasn't using its time and I was. So it's not really fair because basically it's not able to search at the depth that it can search at, particularly in the middle game. I think that's where it's really important. I assume the tree of possibilities branches out quite broadly in Crazy House, and not because we just say, oh, it's unfair, someone's using their time and someone isn't. It actually does matter. Okay, this is fascinating that he's decided to castle instead of move knight here. That is just remarkably human-like. So maybe there is some kind of justification to our intuition, Crazy House, because the engine is seeming to align with that. Now I am quite open if I decide to capture. The thing is, capture, and then threatens the knight, and the knight has to move, and then trades come off. So this is an unfamiliar position to me because I've never seen this knight left here. So I'm going to have a bit of a think about it, whether it's worthwhile capturing. I guess the trouble is, even after the queen trade, and black's getting compensation with moves like pawn at d4, and this this e4 pawn is no longer defended by this knight. So I can castle here. I mean, that's probably just sensible. I'll opt to castle. Pawn h3 played reasonably quickly as well. Don't mind taking this. So if there's a sack here, I'm not expecting the sack. Yeah, you know, the knight comes out to f5. I'm just proceeding sensibly here. Yeah, this looks unusual now. I think white should be better. I think the compensation for black here is some bishop c5 check and then pawn at h3. I'm just not even going to think. I'm just going to develop because I like white's position here. I think bishop c8. It's a strange way to proceed. I mean, maybe it's justified in that white spent a pawn here, but I think that pawn's well placed. So I'm not really agreeing with the engine's move here. It's a bit unusual. It's as if it's seeing a little 2-dip. I mean, knight g6 is now natural, yeah. The interesting thing is, to some extent, both myself and the engine are predicting each other's moves. So the value of this pawn being here is this knight can come to h5 at some stage. I'm gonna play f5, I'm expecting the knight to come out here. But okay, I should be happy with this opening position. Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry. Hold on a second, guys. I have to come back. Hey, sorry, family hasn't been well recently. I'm just having to attend to something. Really sorry about this. Keen to continue this position. I'll be back again. All right. Right, hey, sorry, I'm back now. Okay, let's see what's going on. Sorry, I've someone who's well in the house. Um, Probably going to have to just play this match and one more match. Probably going to have to stop there so I can attend to some things in the house. But okay, let's just focus on this for a moment. Okay, don't want to play f4 just yet because knight g4, so I'm considering if h3 is a possible plan. c5 is also coming. Passive may not be the best option. The alternative is actually maybe even something like knight d5. So let's have a think about this. So white has a handy space advantage. Just gotta convert this appropriately. So the benefit of knight d5 is that c5 is also not really as threatening because it's not going to win a piece. So Vin, thanks for adding the time there. Appreciate that. Knight d5 takes knight at c4. Knight d5 is just helping black. Interesting position here. I feel like white should be better, but we have to find a good way of proceeding with pieces in hand. So what would black do? Black's probably going to play knight h5. Maybe this knight should be rerouted, I think. Reroute to f4, then knight d5 becomes. What I was considering there was knight d5 takes bishop c4 was allowing too much. Okay, black's just kicked me off that diagonal. Now c6 to try to trap this bishop, so it's trying to win some material. So I actually don't mind if it tries to pick off bishop there. So knight f4 looks natural. Very slowly, just trying to pick off material. This is interesting. It's a very proper way of playing. I am going to end up losing this piece. I wonder if I just floundered around enough. Let's allow that. Now it's better to lose probably this capture here, and then see if we can generate something ourselves with pawn at e6. So yeah, white's down a piece for a pawn, but I'm happy with the position of my pieces. I've got to try to find opportunities for counterplay. Oh, but he's not going to let me sit too long before coming. Don't mind this. D4. Okay. So, gonna sack knight f3 perhaps. Is that the grand plan? So, what pawn at d3 potentially coming? That queen just looks trapped. See, this is. I'm gonna trap this queen. What is going on? So, that bishop's just hanging. Oh, I'm confused here. Knight at h5 is weird. Someone in the channels also said that knight h5 is weird. White should be better from here, so even the queen e3 idea was a bit unusual. I thought black could just kind of capture on e6 before and say, well, bishop c6 and black has an extra piece. Just continue grinding slowly, but this whole queen b6, queen e3 thing looked very human-like, and then this just seems unusual. Someone saying in the channel the engine said knight h5, not knight at h5. Hang on, is that correct, Vincent? Do you want to take back some moves? We'll propose a take back. This will make more sense, guys. Yep, Vin's played the wrong engine. Okay, this makes more sense now. So this bishop is defending g5. Okay, we're back, guys. Um, so knight at g3 also becomes viable now. That makes more sense. So yeah, knight at g3. I think that is something to be concerned about, knight at g3, not because it's mating immediately, but because black's making progress and white isn't. Black's actually getting quite safe now. This bishop also defends this one from queen at e6. Pawn at g3 is too passive. Well, I've got to do something on dark squares. Vin's saying eval is plus 11 for black. Yeah, I think it's easier for play the black pieces here, but and white's got the queen for 2 pieces. Black's got some nicely placed pieces here. I don't know what plus 11 means in Crazy House 2. I'm not gonna be too concerned about that. A common thing with engines in the past is something called not seeing beyond the horizon. So sometimes, because it's an engine's doing everything by brute force, it doesn't see the strategical stuff. And then we've had engines in the past that think they're way ahead, and then there's a strategical issue, and then they start assessing quite differently. So that's an interesting move. Bishop f6. I don't understand a lot of these moves. So what's my way in? I'm going to have to... I feel like I need to just work on the pieces that are closest to my king. So I'm going to... Vin says it was plus 11 with wrong move. He says plus 1 now. So got knight at e3 is a possibility at some stage. I mean, knight at h5 is natural. That's just covering the dark squares some more. You know, like material is a bit more in my favor now. I was going to try to keep my king safer than black's king. At the moment, there's some weaknesses for both. Move this rook out of the way of the knight and threaten to capture 2 pieces for the queen back. I'm expecting some kind of pawn at d3 move. No, knight bishop at c6. Ready for pawn at f3. Okay, so black's making progress here. Okay, so knight at f2 is covered by this knight. I'm just trying to relieve some pressure on this diagonal. I'm just going to repeat this move. So there's some tactics here. So rook f1. Knight at d2. Need to play rook e2. Now, against an engine that's playing this well, you kind of got to be prepared to play a long, hard game. So rook e2, knight at d2 is the idea. Okay. The tactics are just working out in black's favor. Can I leave it? Play knight g7, take. Pawn f2 again. Knight back. No, I have to take. No, black's finding a way to make the pieces useful. That was the point of this knight at g5 maneuver, to get knight at d2 covered. Alright, we'll play rook e2. Pawn at d3. So I feel like the edge I had before is slipping a little bit here. I'm allowing a bit too much. I'm not making progress on this king. Yeah, how has this happened? I feel like I've messed up a good position. Gee. So the problem here is rook f2 takes, and rook at e2 still progressing. We'll make a rash decision. I'm not happy with how I've converted this. I think white had better. Rook at g1 feels very dangerous. I think this should be winning. So if I take with the rook, then I'm probably mated. Because after takes, knight at f2 check, queen takes, rook at h2 check, king takes, knight g4 check, king h1, knight f2, king h2, queen at h. Right. Got to take with the knight, but then still knight at f2 is going to be very strong. Oh wow, it's in some kind of other trick. See, everyone would just take here as a knight at f2, knight at e4 just prepares things better. So if knight h5 takes, knight at f2, king out. Once there's two knights with this pattern, it's too much. So yeah, very hard from here. I think this is mated. I can't. It's very hard to cover both of these squares. It's such a brilliant, accurate move. Knight at e4. Like you'd have to do something like rook at f3. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure this mates fg takes knight at f2. No, knight takes f3. Right. And knight takes f3 here. Pretty convincing. Oh, didn't expect this order. Okay, so there's rook at h2, knight g4. it's not even doing the checks. So that's completely lost. Rook at h2 is mating, and then knight f2. That's the goods. I'm gonna have to resign that. Yeah, I think white was better there. The engine certainly seems beatable, but my mind is elsewhere a little bit this morning. So okay, this is the last match I'm going to play. I've got a family that's not well, so I need to look after them. So we're going to play the same set of moves. Yeah, apologies to the viewers there. I mean, I had a good position there and just blew it because my mind's not focused on the game. But let's just finish this one. And look, don't worry, I'll be back for another match. I assure you. This is really fascinating to play the game against the machine, but to convert one of those good positions there, you've really grind it out hard. Just playing close enough is not going to be good enough. I find myself in a situation where I can see all the mates happening to me before they happen. It's just that I'm on the side of getting checkmated, generally. So sorry I've ignored the chat as well. It's been great that you guys are all participating in the stream. I just feel like I'm letting you guys down. Okay, so we're going to go for d4, e5 again. In fact, one idea I have as well is potentially taking on the Lichess engine. Now, because it's only doing 0.8 seconds, I kind of feel the only fair way to take on that engine is to play a 1 minute match against it. So, you know, I'll play with 1 minute to start with in 0-second increment, and that way the computer's also playing fast, and I'm going to be limited on time. I think that'll be a fairer battle, so that some more matches can get played and there can be interest with some time controls. I might try that as well. I've got to admit, I'm getting beaten up at 5 plus 15, but I don't think the engine's unbeatable here. Certainly, certainly with the white pieces, I feel like I have opportunities. A number of fans say E-Dog Bomb, he thinks I can definitely beat the Lichess engine in 1 minute. It'll be more fair for sure. Jerome Vandenberg, he thinks a 1 minute match for Stockfish level 8 should be interesting. So thanks guys, appreciate the feedback. Yeah, always thinking of new ways to try to build some new content on the channel. A number of people saying family first, and no need to apologize. Thanks guys. You're really nice. Missed comments that have happened earlier. I apologise for that. So let's try a different move order here. I mean, castles is standard, but I'll go for an early knight d4 potentially. So I'm expecting d3 here. So Bosch Piano Music said Janley already beat up Stockfish level 8 before, and Jaron Vandenberg's corrected him appropriately, saying not in 1 minute though. Yeah, so last time I played 5 minutes, 3 seconds, but yeah, it wasn't really fair because I was using time and the engine wasn't. So it'd be fairer if it was 1 minute with 0 increment. And been saying bishop g4, bishop g5, Stockfish is already seeing +4. So look, yeah, guys, I'm just aiming to make a quick game here, so I can go back to being a dad and take care of family. Okay, so the idea is here, I can't play queen f6 because of knight at c7, so we adopt this potential on the g file. Been saying the engine's already claiming +8. I mean, you're better off probably not looking at it for a little while. Ooh, sack. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. I think it's seeing knight at f7 as a continuation. Which is fair enough. No, not knight at f7. Okay. I'm not even thinking about this, I'm just instinctively running the king out this way. I expected knight at f7 and then like, capture rook at f7, pawn at g7. So maybe the engine's found something better here. But, you know, if I was playing against a human here, I'd be saying, well, I think I'm feeling like I've got the better position. Unless there's some sharp knight d5. So knight d5, king d7, queen g4 check, king c6, pawn at b5 takes, a4 check. Probably mating, in fact. Because the only squares available to the king are these four, and they're adequately covered by pawn at b5 and b4. So, yeah, just preempting that. If knight d5, king d7, queen g4 is the dangerous move. It's probably mating, then bishop at e6 takes. I actually have to block with the knight, which is really ugly. So I'm not keen on bringing my king anywhere here. I think that's just admitting you've got pawn at somewhere here. Maybe king e8, but then pawn at g7 is very strong there. So instinctively I feel like king d7. Now I've seen if queen g4 is getting mated. Oh, that was played pretty quickly. This gets mated by queen g4, I have to run up. Oh, Vin announces mate in 5. Ah, there's c4. Okay, that's the resource. Yes, very resourceful. That's very impressive. I'm going to play out the mate here. If I play king c5, he's got b4. I have to take it, and then c4 gets played. So c4 is the critical move. That unleashes the queen to a4. And after that, it's all over. So yeah, king c5, b4. So it doesn't really matter. Like the squares are all just nicely covered. king a6 or king c6, queen a4 mate. So only defense to queen a4 check after king a6 is queen a5, takes queen at b5. If king c5, b4 check, king c6, queen a4. So very nice here. That's a little bit of new opening theory for the theory fans. So yeah, let's allow it to play the checkmate. Play king c5, b4, king c6, queen a4. That's very elegant. Okay, so maybe an early knight d4 is not so good, guys. Okay, no, that was very elegant. Nice finish there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call it there, guys. Sorry, there's only been 4 matches, but look, I really thought, I'll just show this position. I thought in this game, I'm kind of around. Oh, look, someone's already gone through it. Yeah, I feel like I'm a little bit worse here, and then it kind of went crazy with queen e3 idea, and after bishop at d4, it's saying it was a mistake, but I mean, I feel like I don't really mind how the computer assesses it. I felt like I should have been better after this. And even here, I think I was starting to win. Sorry, that's not the main line. Yeah, in fact, the computer here is even assesses bishop gf6, not so great. Someone's already gone through it. It's f4, maybe a suggestion. I don't know. I'm not going to look at it now. I don't have the time. But yeah, I kind of felt I had some opportunities after picking up a piece here. This felt good for white. I mean, white's got the queen for a pawn and a piece. It's a safe king. So there's still a long way to go. It's still fairly balanced. I mean, it's a long way from over here for either. But yeah, I don't feel like this engine's unbeatable. It's also interesting. I mean, we've got actually the mix of a human operator and a machine making decision on when the right move is, because I assume that as a machine searches greater depth, it will change its mind on what the best move is. So that's also an element to consider in this. But yeah, anyway, we'll see what we do next. I am considering doing a 1 minute plus 0 increment match against Stockfish, and that way it's accessible just through the Lead Chess site as well, and I can schedule that when it's suitable for me. Okay, I'm going to close off the stream there, guys. It's nearly 7 AM here, so I've got to help look after family, potentially get to work. Thanks so much for joining. Really appreciate all the support with the channel. Hope you've enjoyed it. Sorry I haven't been able to book a win yet, but I won't be giving up. So let's keep fighting for the humans. Alright, enjoy your week, guys. We'll see you again soon. Take care.